Check out this free video and make sure you hit like and subscribe. But wanted to say a few things. I was at Sabu's last match, and we'll talk about that more in a moment, because it kind of ties into everything. But I think the first thing that I want to say is that I think that Sabu should be in pretty much every wrestling Hall of Fame. And after he passed away, you know, all the wrestlers were doing their tributes and everything like that. And Sami Zayn, of all people, he noted that like months ago, and he actually retweeted it, he mentioned that he had been advocating for Sabu to go into the WWE Hall of Fame. And, of course, he was advocating it again after he passed away. And the thing, obviously, he should be in the WWE Hall of Fame, because there's not really requirements to being in the WWE Hall of Fame. But I'm talking in the Observer Hall of Fame, where there's a large panel of like 100 wrestlers and historians and etc. that vote. And I think that he is a Hall of Famer. And in fact, dating back decades, when Dave would send out those ballots for the Hall of Fame, I can remember early 2000s, I would vote for Sabu. And I don't want to say that I was ridiculed, but I often had people questioning, like, why did you vote for Sabu? And the thing to me about Sabu is, obviously, professional wrestling is a work. It's not real. And so when you're looking at, like, who should go into the Hall of Fame, well, there's a lot of different reasons you can vote for somebody. If it's somebody like The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, we're talking like all-time Hulk Hogan, Bruno Sammartino, obviously they need to go into the Hall of Fame. Sometimes, you know, you look at, oh, well, you know, this person didn't win such and such a world title in a national promotion. It's like, well, yeah, there's something to when you're given the belt, it's pretend, but they gave it to you for a reason. They thought that you could carry the company, draw money, etc. There's something to that. But at the end of the day, you didn't really win anything. So I always look at things like, and one of the big things I look at, actually I would say one of the biggest actually, beyond just like, are you a no-brainer that you go into the Hall of Fame, I always look at influence. I very much am into influence. Because at the end of the day, if you were somebody, and maybe you weren't a WWE champion, maybe you weren't whatever, but you were somebody that influenced tons and tons of people, and you were somebody that in some ways, in many ways, helped to change the business, then, especially over a long period of time, you know, that to me, you're a Hall of Famer. And it's one of these things I didn't even think about until today. But I always think about myself. Well, who influenced me? And you know, you watch my matches and you can see, you know, Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. These were the guys. Ric Flair. I watched them. I loved their matches, and it was like, man, I want to steal that, and I want to steal that. Not politically correct, but stole a lot from Chris Benoit, chops, and this and that. But I had forgotten that before I did like regular independence and we had our YWF, our backyard promotion, I half wore a Sabu outfit. I thought that Sabu's outfit was so cool. It was different. You know, back then, you know, I watched a lot of WWF and WCW, and everybody had their tights and everything like that, unless you were like a garbage man. But he had the cool pants and the whole shebang. And so I wore a pair of gi pants, and I wrestled in gi pants, and we did a match, and I was like, I'm doing this Sabu moonsault. And we set up a table, and I did the moonsault off like the awards podium, and I put this dude through a table. And man, I loved it. And I thought, like, I wasn't in a, you know, at that point, I wasn't going to be doing like juicing and barbed wire, everything like that. But I thought that I thought his gimmick was cool. I thought his outfit was cool. I thought his, you know, just the basic stuff, moonsault through the table. And that was just me. And then you look at everybody else. Sabu's last match, you know, Joey Janela came out, or actually, you know, he did the match and everything. And then the match is over and Sabu won. And then Joey Janela just got up and he did this promo, and he just said, Sabu, he is my favorite wrestler of all time. He's the greatest wrestler ever. You know, he's the reason I'm in this business. And, you know, there's so many guys that were influenced by Sabu. And you can look in any promotion today. You watched a barbed wire match, you watch a match with thumbtacks, you watch whatever. And obviously these things were being done around the world, you know, before Sabu got into it. But there were so many wrestlers that grew up watching Sabu in ECW. Are you one of those youngsters today who listens to Spotify? I don't even know what it is. But I do know this. All of our podcasts are available at Spotify. You can head up right now and sign up. The easiest way to do so, f4wonline.com/Spotify. And for just $9.99 per month, you can listen to 84 podcasts on any given month. 84! 2 to 3 podcasts every single day covering pro wrestling and mixed martial arts. And if you think about $9.99 per month, that's just pennies per day. So check it out today on Spotify. That's f4wonline.com/Spotify. f4wonline.com/Spotify.